Today we're at the world famous Wiener Circle in Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, what the fuck do you want? It's not that hard to read a fucking menu, okay?
It's a brand new bar, patio, incredible outdoor space. One of the best hot dogs in the world.
Yeah,
I would argue.
I would say, yeah.
It's in the top 5, 10, I don't know. Can't go wrong with a lot of hot dogs in Chicago, but this is the best char. I mean, this is like unique too.
Yeah, it's a char dog. I mean, you got to make sure that you get a char dog when
Yeah.
you're in Chicago. And this is the place to go. It's the Wiener Circle.
This is the place. We got mezcal, palomas. We're half drunk. Perfect spot. And who the fuck dressed you today? What the hell's this?
Well, imagine my surprise when I walk up and I see you wearing that shirt when I'm wearing that shirt. I feel like we're two kids whose parents dressed us the same, going to go to like Easter dinner or something like that.
That was incredibly embarrassing when you pulled up in your SUV and I'm out there on the sidewalk and I see you. Like, this is one of us had to change.
Well,
We should have talked about this before.
yeah, we should have.
But actually, while you see whether we're both wearing this shirt, you can go to the Velvet Hamster store right now and find this shirt. Sandwich 2020, we're going to update it. We're going to have Sandwich 2024 on the website. Is a hot dog a sandwich? It's a cliche, stupid question that people on the internet have argued for a while. It clearly is.
Spoiler alert, it is
Yeah,
a sandwich.
it's a stupid thing to argue. But,
You know what's not a stupid thing to argue? The movie.
Good Burger.
Y'all ready for this? Can I take your order?
So Good Burger, actually, I think right now in the bar area, I feel like that song might be in the movie Good Burger.
I don't recall. It's gonna surprise you to hear this, but I've only watched Good Burger once.
What? I probably watched Good Burger on average once a year since it came out.
Well, so Good Burger, of course, coming from all that, Kenan and Kel, and that was meant to be the kids, the Nickelodeon version of Saturday Night Live, right?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, did you watch all that, or is that you too old for
Well,
that?
no, and I feel like I'm just like on the cusp of when that show started, that it was not of interest to me necessarily, and it wasn't even like of interest as a as like a goof type of thing. So that's why I didn't watch all that. And so then this movie, which came out in 1997 when I was in high school, I didn't see this movie either. And until, I get some of the references. In fact, the meme, yeah, I get some of those references.
Yeah.
I hadn't watched it until I watched it for this.
Wait, so what year did you watch it? You didn't watch it in 97, you watched it...
I did not watch it in
So for
1997.
this.
I watched it in 2022.
Oh, okay, so we've been talking about this for a few weeks. You had not actually seen the movie?
I had not actually seen the movie.
Holy crap. So you mentioned all that being like the kids version of Saturday Night Live. I think it was on, I can't remember if it was on Friday or Saturday.
I think Saturday.
Yeah, it was,
From my research, again, not
fact check
knowing,
and pop it up right here. But my parents would tape all that for us because we'd be out. We'd go to church on Saturdays because we didn't like to get up on Sundays. Go out to dinner, do whatever on Saturday. We'd come back. All that would be taped. We'd watch all that. We'd watch the Ask Ashley, Kenan and Kel. Just like it was funny to me, obviously as a kid, and we treated it like the kids' Saturday Night Live. Then I would get to watch a little bit of Saturday Night Live after my parents were cool. I would watch the cold open. I liked Saturday TV Funhouse. I liked Weekend Update. Watch all that. But I always treated it like this was the the kids' Saturday Night Live. And what's funny about that is these movies sprung out, Nickelodeon films. This was the biggest one that came out in 97. But they also had the Harriet the Spy, the Rugrats movie, Rugrats in Paris. They started coming out with all these movies. And in my head then, I treated it like how there's these SNL, which we've talked about before, like the SNL adjacent movies like Billy Madison, Dirty Work, all these things with SNL stars, Tommy Boy, where it's like, you gotta go see this movie because it has an SNL guy in it. I look at this, it's like Kenan and Kel are branching out into movies because they graduated from their version of Saturday Night Live. And it was huge, at least among, I think people from my generation still love the movie. They still joke about it. They still talk about it. I don't know if it's actually a good movie or not because I just feel so biased in this.
Yeah, I mean, we'll obviously discuss whether it is a good movie or not, but it's kind of ironic that Kenan Thompson went from the kids' version of SNL to literally SNL.
To the adult version of all that.
So it's kind of funny to me, and in fact, I've been watching some of the on Peacock.
Say peacock and no one bats an eye. Say poopcock and society goes wild. Society!
They have a Saturday Night Live channel where they just like run through a whole bunch of different sketches like throughout, and he's on all the time now.
I think he's the longest tenured cast member on Saturday Night Live of all time, which is crazy to me because it's still weird for me that he's on the show. I would loved Kenan and Kel in the 90s, early 2000s, like one of my favorite shows. I loved this movie. I loved all that. I always associated Kenan. He was on the Slime show, the game show that they had. Like, he was this Nickelodeon guy. And obviously he's been on SNL forever now. And he's more associated with that show. And like if someone's born in the year 2000, they probably only know him as somebody on SNL. But when I see him on SNL, I still think of Kenan and Kel. I still think of Nickelodeon.
Yeah. I mean, look, I know of him on his stuff from Nickelodeon. It was not anything that I was watching on Nickelodeon. Like, I'm from the generation where Nickelodeon was, you can't say that on television, which is like, was kind of the like precursor to all that. And that's where the whole slime thing came in, where you said, like, if you said, I don't know, you'd get slimed.
And your favorite movie actress is?
And like that was a whole thing. And that generation slightly forward was the Nickelodeon stuff that I was watching. I never watched any of this stuff. And so, again, I know it comes as a big shock, especially if you see my internet meme usage where I'm, again, using the, yeah, I know some of these words meme, which is, I mean, everywhere, right? Everybody uses that. You would think that I've seen this movie.
So, did you watch Kenan and Kel ever?
No.
Amazing. I think Kenan and Kel, I've watched it in recent years when it's become available. I think it actually, I've tried to watch some shows that I watched when I was a kid and none of them hold up really. Kenan and Kel to me is still kind of funny. I don't know what it is. I love that show. And that's probably why it is why I love this movie. This is just an extension of Kenan and Kel. Good Burger was part of all that. It was a sketch.
Yeah.
Made it into a whole movie. Kenan and Kel are kind of taking on similar personas in Kenan and Kel that they do in Good Burger. Kel is dumb. Kenan is a straight guy.
I'm in love with the shape of you.
Kel is very dumb in this movie, like borderline, like there's something wrong with him, which is, looking back at it.
So I wrote this down, but like, does he have Asperger's?
Oh my God! You're saying I have Asperger's?
I mean, he kind of has to, right?
Right? I mean, everything is literal, right? Like, everything is literal.
Just give me a good shake. Really?
Like, when he's talking about the burger, and the guy says, no, I wanted a burger with nothing on it. Well, it's 2 pieces of bread. Like, if you put the meat on it, there's something on it. Meat is something. Like, he's 100% literal, which makes me think, like, does he have Asperger's?
There's this weird humor where, I mean, he seems challenged. And there's this weird thing, like, I have a hard time watching The Office on, like, rewatch. I've seen every episode, like, 10 times. But Dwight clearly has Asperger's, or he's like...
Not nearly to this level.
Not nearly that, but it's like...
And because we watch, unfortunately, in my house, fortunately or unfortunately, depends on your take, we watch The Office, like, all the time.
Oh,
like,
I
we
do
just,
too.
Like, continually watch.
Because it's just, I know every episode that it's easy to throw on, and I still find some of the first, like, 4 or 5 seasons funny. And that's not, Dwight having Asperger's or being on the spectrum is not why I have a hard time watching it, but it's one of the things where it's like, Jim's just making fun of this guy who's clearly on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like, Jim, you're an asshole.
Well, I mean, I think we can agree that when everybody was watching The Office to start, the, like, love affair with Jim was big, and now that you look back at it, he's a trash human being.
Oh, Jim and Pam.
Like, they're trash human beings.
Pam sucks.
Oh, yeah.
She's the absolute worst character.
Yeah, the worst.
Yeah. So now, like, on rewatch, I'm like, stop picking on Dwight. This guy clearly has some issues. Kel, and maybe, I don't know if a different style of humor. We didn't think of this sort of thing. He's fucked up in this movie. Like that, he's beyond stupid. You hit the nail on the head. He has Asperger's.
I mean, that was watching this, not having seen an episode of All That or the Good Burger sketches or anything. That was the first thing that came to my mind when I see this guy when he actually gets to Good Burger and is being 100% literal with the angry dude who's trying to order.
All right, that rips it. I am reporting your name to the manager.
The manager already knows my name.
That was the first thing that came to my mind. And, like, I don't know how it couldn't come to your mind.
Totally. And, like, when he's on the date with the chick toward the end, later on in the movie, and he just doesn't pick
Carmen
up on...
Electra.
You are so hot.
Oh, well, I often sweat at work.
Carmen Electra.
Carmen Electra.
Her debut, Carmen Electra's debut.
Dennis Rodman's ex-wife.
Uncredited.
Yeah.
Uncredited in this role.
But he can't pick up on any of the signals. It's because he has issues.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
So I think maybe that's why they employed him. They maybe got some kind of tax credit for helping him out.
Yes.
I don't know. It's a part of the movie that they didn't explore. But since I saw it in 97 or 98, whatever, it doesn't bother me. Like, it's still funny to me. Like, the stuff with the sauce is funny. A lot of the stuff he says is funny. Kenan is...
There's dad jokes, too. Like, he has a lot of dad jokes.
Yeah, and Kenan, like I said, being the straight man.
I'm in love with the shape of you.
It's just... I don't know if it's a good movie. I'm just so biased toward it for now 25 years, something like that, that I can't like look and say this movie. I'm curious now that you just saw it in 2022. What your thoughts are?
It's not a good movie.
It's weird that it won Best Picture then in '97.
Best Picture.
Yeah, I mean...
It beat Titanic.
Yeah, well, I mean, Titanic, they had a lot of issues with Jack and not, Rose not sharing the board with Jack, and, like, there was plenty of room for the both of them, and she just basically killed him off. But also, he could have been a time traveler, because a lot of the things that he says in the movie were actually, like, not invented until, a few years after.
That's what I got in that movie.
It makes sense that this would have won Best Picture over
Yeah,
Titanic.
and Kenan won Best Actor.
It's not about winning an award for me. It's about being able to shine light.
But, I mean, not a good movie, but talk about the star power, too. Kenan and Kel were both huge at the time. Kel's kind of fallen off the map a little bit, unfortunately.
I have notes about him, too.
Let's get to that in a second. I just want to mention also Sinbad.
Oh, yeah.
In the movie, Shaquille O'Neal with a cameo, and he's Shaq's in a lot of movies. And then a lot of other supporting actors from all that, Nickelodeon.
And you're forgetting the best cameo appearance of them all.
Which is?
Abe Vigoda.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that alone made it worth watching.
It showed the weight of Nickelodeon, though, at the time.
Yeah, to be able to get an Abe Vigoda, that's, But let me talk about talking about these individuals that are in this movie, right? So Sinbad. Sinbad does not disown this movie like he disowns Kazam. Sinbad does not. Did you know this? Sinbad does not people will hit him up on Twitter and will start talking about him doing the Kazam movie that he did.
I remember Kazam. I remember when it came out.
And he denies that it ever happened. Like, he
definitely
denies
happened.
that he was ever a part of this movie.
No, man, it was never real.
I mean, it's not his best movie. This is better, and then I would say Jingle All the Way.
Because I have the ear of a snake.
Necessary Roughness.
Necessary Roughness. He's in a lot of really good movies, so it's hard to...
But so he does not disown this one. And then the other thing that I had with Abe Vigoda, right? Like, this kind of goes into the one thing that I think this movie gets is that it's self-aware. It knows that it's a joke. And it knows, so like, there are all that jokes.
Right.
With like, I think he even literally say like, all that. They literally say all that in this movie. But the fact that Abe Vigoda is in this and he's got the oxygen mask on at one point at the very beginning and they're talking about him like, is he dead? Like,
yeah,
that's the joke, right? Until, what, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I mean, the pandemic has ruined all semblance of time, but there was a website, Is Abe Vigoda Dead? And it would check every day, like, is Abe Vigoda dead? And it would be like, nope, Abe Vigoda's not dead, because everybody would think, like, Abe Vigoda's dead.
Definitely one of those guys where if you told me that he was dead, like when Larry King passed away, you could have told me a week before that he was dead, and I'd be like, yeah, of course he's dead.
I mean, Abe Vigoda, same thing.
Yeah.
That's why the joke works, and that's why the website worked so
Right.
well 20 years before he even died.
Right.
Like, just fantastic. But I do want to also mention, talking about Kel, right?
Yeah.
And figuring, like, you know where Kenan Thompson is, and, like, you've seen him in other things.
It's huge.
So the question was, where is this other guy? Where's Kel, right?
He's doing stuff. I checked his IMDb before.
Well, I looked at his IMDb, and I was like, I didn't see anything. You know what he's doing? He's a pastor in California.
Well, I didn't know that.
And this is why, also, this movie's a Chicago movie.
Why is that?
So this movie's a Chicago movie
Well,
because...
Kenan and Kel was based in Chicago.
And Kel is from Chicago.
Oh, okay.
So he's originally from Chicago. But Kel is a pastor now in Winnetka,
Oh, really?
California.
Oh, fuck.
But that still qualifies because, that's a suburb of Chicago, is
Right.
Winnetka, California.
Everything's a suburb of Chicago if you stretch hard enough.
Yeah, so it's a Chicago movie.
We should get Kel on this show. He could talk about whatever he wants.
Yeah, Kel, whatever you want to talk about. Come on. Let's chat.
That'd be a dream guest. But it is, yeah, Kenan had this big trajectory to become a big star, although I want to get to that later about his career. Kel, I think maybe he's happy, maybe he didn't want, like, Kenan's career trajectory.
He's married to some, like, musician, like Asia something or other.
Always marry up. He and Kenan apparently talked. I think they had kind of a tiff for a bit, but they talked a couple years ago about the idea of a sequel to this movie.
Well, they wrote a sequel originally where Kenan
But doing
and
it
Kel,
like now.
Well, I know, but I'm saying, like, they originally had a sequel that got written where the Mondo Burgers corporate chain and, like, they're going after the corporation or whatever, and it just got killed by Hollywood, which, you know how I feel about sequels, even for, like, not good movies, or for, like, really good movies, you know how I feel about sequels, but, like, even not good movies, like, I'm not down for a sequel. But I guess maybe for the generation younger than me that was all about this.
People,
I mean,
I'm going to speak for people aged 25 to 35. People love this movie.
Yeah.
I believe you that you watched it for the first time and you thought it wasn't good. I'm sure it's not good.
I mean, also, to support my fact that it's not good, it's for free on YouTube. Like,
I didn't
you
know
can
that.
Watch it.
I
That's
thought
how
it was
I
on
watched
streaming.
it. Was, like, on YouTube. Like, I did, like, you go to the Decider, right, and you type in what movie you want to watch. It tells you where it's streaming.
Yeah.
And, like, it had it on, like, Amazon Prime, but I feel like it was probably that, like, Amazon Prime where you have to buy the movie to watch it or rent the movie to watch it.
Sure.
But then I saw that it was on YouTube, and I was like, all right, let's check it out. And, like, go to YouTube, like, expecting to get charged, like, 99 cents for this movie because it's a 99-cent movie. And
it's one of those movies you'd find in the bin at Walmart with all the DVDs.
you might actually find it in the bin at Walmart or Menards or wherever you're shopping. But free on YouTube.
I didn't know that. I know what I'm doing tonight then. One point about Mondo Burger and Good Burger. They did a great job. I always associated Mondo Burger as a kid with, and I'm not shitting on this chain. I don't even know if it still exists, Fuddruckers.
Oh, yeah, Fuddruckers.
It always reminded me of Fuddruckers.
Because of the thick burger?
Yeah, which I'm not. Are you a thick patty man or are you a thin patty man?
No, I'm not. I mean, look, I'm somewhere in between. It's more important to have a good flavor. Like, I don't care if it's like a thick burger or if it's a thin burger, as long as it tastes good.
I agree. At the time, back in the day, I thought the thick patty was disgusting. I saw it in this movie. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is Mondo Burger sucks. Why would anybody want that? Now I think I'm more of a thick patty man. I want some meat on it. But Mondo Burger always reminded me of Fuddruckers, and then Good Burger is more of like a fun, like, neighborhoody spot like this.
Yeah.
Like the Wiener Circle.
Now, Fuddruckers doesn't exist anymore, does it?
That's what I was saying. I don't know if it does or not. There was one in Schaumburg that I went to a bit as a kid. That one closed. I don't know if it's still around in, like, Florida. It seems like a place to be in Florida.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But maybe, to use an analogy from the Twitters, right? Maybe you look at Good Burger as the Wiener Circle, and Mondo Burger is Portillo's now.
Yeah.
Like, now that Portillo's is this, like,
Sellout.
mega corporation that they sold out. In case you didn't know, like, for all of our Chicago followers that are all about Portillo's sold out to a Boston, like, hedge fund. And so, you can see their quality has gone downhill, but maybe, like, that's the relationship, right? Is Is Wiener Circle versus Portillo's.
I think that's a good one. I could see Portillo's like injecting their hot dogs with something too. Like
yeah, probably.
It's nothing like this.
Yeah, nothing like this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I haven't even taken a bite yet.
Broken the seal yet. The only other point I was going to make was about Kenan's career. It's kind of accepted Kenan took off because he got SNL after. And then Kel is a pastor in Winnetka, not even Winnetka, Illinois, California. But when Kenan joined SNL and when this movie came, when Good Burger came out in the 90s and everything, SNL is like a destination. And then look, we've talked about it many times, all these guys in the 90s on SNL who went on to have their own movies, like feature films. Like you graduated from SNL, now you're a movie star. And that can carry it into the 2000s, like Will Ferrell's maybe the greatest SNL cast member ever, like top 5, and he has this gigantic movie career after, right? And the women in the early 2000s, like Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, like they become stars from SNL.
Yeah.
Kenan hasn't really done that. He's just been on SNL for like forever now, and hasn't.
I mean, I feel like when I had heard that he was on SNL, I feel like it was like 2 years ago.
You didn't know that? He's been on SNL for like 20 years.
Then again, I haven't watched SNL in
Sure.
forever.
Yeah, but I think I should have looked it up. I think he's longest tenured, or he's among the longest tenured. Maybe he's just happy being on SNL every week, being on a show that people don't really watch unless it's a YouTube clip.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised that he didn't go on to do a ton more movies or like think about, because he was a movie like Good Burger, Best Picture in 1997. Like he was in a great classic film like this. I'm almost wondering, this is a really hot take. This is a Sport Pepper hot take.
Your Sport Pepper hot take of the day.
Hello,
Sponsored by Sport Pepper. Did his career peak back then?
In Good Burger.
Late 90s, yeah. Nickelodeon. Is Nickelodeon Kenan above SNL Kenan?
Probably.
I can't name you, because I don't, like you, I haven't been watching SNL. I can't name you 3 sketches of Kenan's.
I mean, I can simply because I have been watching on Peacock, like the reruns, so like that's not fair, like I can't do that. But otherwise I would not have been able to tell you what he's been in or what he's done.
And I'm not even saying with authority that Nickelodeon Kenan trumps SNL Kenan. I'm just posing the question.
Yeah, I don't know. And not really knowing his work, his body of work from Nickelodeon, can't really make that call.
Because I think much like cinema, Kenan's career peaked with Good Burger.
I got a couple more things before we get into the rating. So, first off, Stuart Copeland of The Police wrote the music for this.
Killer soundtrack.
So, good job, Stuart Copeland, right? I said that to my wife. I was like, she walked in and saw me watching this movie. She's like, what are you watching? I was like,
she hadn't seen it either?
No.
Jeez.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't.
I was like, but hey, did you know who wrote the music? She's like, who? I was like, Stuart Copeland. And she was like, I'm like, can't believe Stuart Copeland would have done this. Another famous person that appeared in this movie, George Clinton.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the mental hospital.
Yeah, which is the stupidest. I mean, if I'm going to put one knock on this movie, I laugh because it's such a non sequitur. The whole insane asylum thing is...
I didn't understand it. Like, I was like, why are you in an insane asylum?
It makes no sense at all. And people, even like people I know my age who love this movie, we all acknowledge that. Like, this is so fucking stupid.
Well, good.
It makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
It's just a great, iconic American film.
Look, it's if you want to watch a movie where you just want to like tune out, yeah, like it was fine. And there were dad jokes which made me chuckle a little bit. But like it's not a good movie.
I acknowledge that too, which I'm very curious to score because I do think that some people like really, really love this movie, but it can't, like, it's very stupid.
Do you want to venture a guess first? Because I mean, this is your
yeah.
house.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna undersell it a little bit. I'm gonna go even 6. I don't even know if I've ever done a round number before.
I think this movie is ass, and so it doesn't even crack 6. I'm going 5.6.
Okay.
5.7.
All right.
This
On
movie
the
is
money.
terrible. This movie is terrible.
Oh,
I mean, it's
fuck
not terrible. Look, it's not a 3-point movie, but like
No.
5.6.
It's not Pluto Nash.
Yeah, it's not Pluto Nash. That's true. Kenan and Kel, don't hold this against us, please.